What to Play presents the top 25 new PC and console games for May 2019. The Play score is an average of gamer and critic ratings. At 25, Druidstone, The Secret of the Menhir Forest. From the makers of critically acclaimed dungeon crawler Legend of Grimrock, Control-Alt-Ninja brings us an RPG that nails the look and feel of the classics. While its puzzle parts aren't quite as puzzling, its challenging turn-based combat makes sure that navigating through the Menhir Forest requires wit and strategy. Make use of the unique abilities and strengths of each hero and marvel at the complexity of their gameplay. It has a provisional play score of 8.13. At number 24, Descenders, a mountain biking that takes downhill racing to the extreme. Rage Squid's action sports game launches players into the breakneck speeds of the procedurally generated tracks, jumping, turning, and performing stunts along the way. With the randomization of each run, there's never time to become the master of the track, so you'll never know what to expect. Capturing the skills and thrills of the downhill riding experience, it gets a score of 8.15. At number 23, Team Sonic Racing. Combining the intensity of competitive kart racing with the fun of co-op gaming, Team Sonic Racing offers a unique take on the age-old genre. Featuring the characters of the Sonic universe, figure out each of their playstyles and improve your choices with each upgrade. Getting some heat for its online issues and limited game modes for its local play with friends, it gets its highest score on the PS4 with an 8.28 and the lowest on the PC with 7.57. At number 22, Shakedown Hawaii. Finally out after a few years of radio silence. The wait was worth it for the spiritual successor to the Retro City Rampage. Described as a parody of 80s culture and retro games, Shakedown Hawaii takes it pretty damn seriously with their interactive 16-bit open world. Exploring the interconnected underbelly of crime and business, Shakedown is a load of fun and mayhem, with a score of 8.30 on the PS4 and 7.41 on the Switch. We're at number 21 with Snakeybus. Stovetop's casual arcade harkens back to the classic Snake games in the wackiest way possible. Play as a dutiful driver to a bus that never stops growing and snake around the streets of cities around the globe. Take passengers to the Louvre or to the neighborhood elementary schools in their 6 unique core maps. A 3D twist to a beloved format, it has a score of 8.31. At number 20, Everybody's Golf VR. Already a mainstay on the PS4, the game formerly called as Hot Shots Golf takes the golfing action to the VR. With the immersive virtual world, your actual golf skills are on the test. Move the controller just like a real-life golf club, and with your full body, master the art of the swing as you dive into the beautiful greens and bunkers. It has a play score of 8.33. At number 19, Total War 3 Kingdoms. Total War takes their first dip into the history of the Three Kingdoms with this latest entry. Offering what many call a satisfying depiction of China's seminal period, Three Kingdoms is rich with detail not just in their visuals but also in their strategy gameplay. Take control of one of the 11 factions as their respective legendary warlord and conquer with diplomacy and might with the Guangxi system of interrelationships. It has a score of 8.34. 18. Observation. If Kubrick ever disturbed you with his 2001 Space Odyssey's haul, Observation might dispel those fears, putting you in the shoes of a space station's AI assistant. Opening after a mysterious incident, peer through the eyes of the System Administration and Maintenance, or SAM, and work hand-in-hand with Emma Fisher to solve the puzzles in their gripping storyline. It has a score of 7.63 on the PC and 8.37 on the PS4. Coming in at number 17, Neptunia Shooter. From the makers of your favorite video game industry parodies, Idea Factory dives into the 8-bit cosmos for some shoot-'em-up action. Ravaged by adorable alien creatures, shoot, dodge, and defeat bosses as the lovely Neptune. With each successful takeover of their 6 different worlds, you'll get to have their bosses join you and share your unique shooting abilities for the mission. It has a rating of 8.42. 16. Undead Horde. It might not look it, but this colorful title is actually an action RPG, and it's a fun one at that. Play the Necromancer and use the raised dead to wreak havoc in the world of the living. Playfully called by some as the Night King Simulator, Undead Horde offers a little more color and justice to the powers of necromancy as you acquire powerful items and set out to conquer the world. Hopefully, you won't have any murderers, meddling kids to worry about. It has a provisional play score of 8.43. 15. Life is Strange 2 Episode 3 Wastelands. If you haven't played the last 2 episodes, you might want to skip this one. With the release of the latest episode, Daniel and Sean's closely built relationship faces tension as they rub elbows with people on the fringes of society. Fleshing out new side characters, Episode 3 is an interesting chapter, though not the most polished so far. Slow-paced but still full of emotion, it has a score of 7.36 on the PC, 8.50 on the PS4, and 7.34 on the Xbox One. 14. The Defender, Farm and Castle. For when you're in the mood for a quick and easy gaming session, this free-to-play action strategy will bring you back to the easy days of browser gaming. A bit like those classic congregate tower defense games, the Defender puts you in the shoes of an archer tasked to protect the castle from the nightly monster invasions. Completely free to play, it's an engaging enough title to spend the afternoon with. A provisional play score of 8.52. Lucky number 13, Darkwood. Acid Wizard Studios' maiden foray into video game development is doing pretty well for itself on the consoles. Released on the PC in 2017, Darkwood prides itself as a horror game without the need for cheap jump scares, sending tingles into players' spines by sheer virtue of the eerie atmosphere of their procedurally generated 80s Poland. Craft, explore, scavenge, and shoot your way to survival. Far from perfect but definitely exciting, it has a score of 8.55 on the PS4, 7.71 on the Xbox One, and 7.86 on the Switch. 12. Yakuza Kiwami 2. Arriving to the PC about a year after its initial worldwide PS4 release, the groovy 80s vibes of Sega's follow-up to their Yakuza Kiwami remake hasn't gotten old yet. A prequel title take on the role of a young Kiryu in a struggle to bring back leadership to the Tojos. With the latest Dragon engine, the massive visual upgrades are feast for your eyes, and the new Goro Majima adds even more to the game's already fun itinerary. It has a play score of 8.53. 11. Blood and Truth. Expanding the premise of the London heist into a full VR title, Sony's own London studio presents us with an opportunity to take on John Wick-like experience by amping the excitement of their experimental demo. Not only does London look and feel the part in Blood and Truth, shooting does too. Simulating gun tactics with realistic ammunition and reloads, it has the action movie feel we want in a virtual reality format. It has a score of 8.58. 10. Blood Fresh Supply. We've been seeing a lot of classics revival, but this is the truest to the name this month. A restored and updated version of the Atari first-person shooter, Blood Fresh Supply breathes new life to the manic mayhem of the original while adding a slew of modern additions. Featuring competitive and cooperative multiplayer modes, work together with and against players around the globe to fight the demonic beasts ahead. It has a provisional play score of 8.58. Number 9. A Plague Tale: Innocence. Asobo Studios' grim tale about two siblings is the talk of the town for this month of May. Follow Amika and her little brother Hugo as they embark on an emotional journey set in an unforgiving world. Escape from the grasp of the Inquisition amidst a land torn apart by a deadly plague. Avoid a swarm of rats by using the element of fire and struggle to survive against the overwhelming odds. It's a character-driven story that resonates a powerful theme of family and hope. It receives a play score of 8.56 on the PC, 8.63 on the PS4, and 8.43 on the Xbox One. Number 8. Slay the Spire. finally out on the PlayStation 4, this hybrid of card game and roguelike come together in a fascinating single-player experience. Discover hundreds of cards as you go deep into its procedurally generated dungeons and enemies. Climb to the top of the ever-changing Spire and craft the perfect deck to overcome numerous challenges. It was heavily praised when it was out on Steam due to its strategic elements and fun replayability. It receives a play score of 8.65. Number 7, VA11 Hall A, Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Waifus and Cyberpunk. That's an uncanny mix. This visual novel game by Sukiban is all about the booze and technology. As a bartender in VA11 Hall A or Valhalla, hear the unique and interesting stories of your patrons to learn more about the game's dystopian backdrop. It's a pretty casual indie experience that doesn't lean too much on combat. You're just this charming bartender learning about people. It has a play score of 8.69 on the PS4 and a provisional 8.37 on the Switch. Number 6, S.W.I.N.E HD Remaster. If you remember this cult classic strategy game from Kite, this HD remaster brings the S.W.I.N.E filth back to the battlefield. This real-time strategy game takes in a grueling battle between the rabbit and the pig army. Engage in challenging tank battles in the single-player or a multiplayer experience. This enhanced version comes with completely revised textures, detailed unit models, and better monitor support. It has a provisional play score of 8.78. 5. Gladia Bots. It's about damn time when you finally get an indie game about robots fighting each other to the death. This strategy simulation game from GFX47 is all about assembling your army of metallic monsters. Construct an artificial intelligence of your designed robots and carefully send them into the battle arena. Experiment with its various types, modes, and abilities and continue to improve it with each success and failure. It receives a provisional play score of 8.85. Number 4, Home. There's enough stress in the video game community lately and everyone deserves a relaxing and casual walking simulator like Home. Create your own poem and music as you go on a heartwarming quest to find out what home means to you. It's the perfect game to release the frustrations of everyday life. Simply enjoy its user-generated narrative and stress-free interaction. It receives a provisional play score of 8.96. Number 3, we have My Big Sister. An adventure in the form of old-school RPGs, My Big Sister tells a tale of two sisters exploring an unfamiliar dream world in a bid to finally escape it. In it, you'll meet the playfully sarcastic 12-year-old Lucia, whose story this game isn't about, and her ever-gloomy big sister Sombria. Solve the puzzles within a handful of locations and find the ending they both deserve. It has a provisional play score of 9.06. Number 2, BirdGut. This hand-drawn 2D puzzle platformer from Micah Brewster oozes with creativity and charm. BirdGut takes you from the perspective of an outcast bee who gets eaten by a bird. From there, solve puzzles in its minimalist levels and escape a sinister facility that has ties to your origins. Make it out alive with your symbiotic friends as you run, jump, and climb your way across its red, black, and white world. It has a provisional play score of 9.21. And at number 1, Neon Beats. Okyo's free-to-play minimalist rhythm game is a platformer that doesn't rely on story and sequence. Instead, it's a pure neon bliss as you navigate around its 2D worlds. Just like any other platformer, jump from point A to B and use its rhythm-based gameplay to seamlessly move around its polygonal paradise. It receives a provisional play score of 9.59. And that is it for today's video. If you loved it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to become a certified What To player. See you guys next time. Bye!